also I'll go with more just smarter devices and smarter everything, which has already started and already people are getting used to it. And next generation, next wave of that is required, which also is like kind of incorporates automation in which I have mentioned.
You have been doing a lot of work in IoT, so please share your view.
All right, so Dr. Gupta is giving me a pretty tough job in terms of being able to pick one particular buzzword. But I would go with, this entire thing which is called the Internet of Everything is what Krishna is talking about, Internet of Things, because somewhere over there it gets embedded into the wearable technology field itself. And I still feel that, as long as we stay focused upon that, the applications are endless. Applications can be in any area that we're talking about, including healthcare, including agriculture, including energy. And I can talk about, examples of companies that I have seen in these particular areas that are doing this kind of work, because those are the kind of people that we meet literally on a day-on-day basis. That's where I would.
Okay. So we have a fairly good idea from basically panelists and the audience that smart devices, sensors, and basically security, that is going to be kind of the core of the next wave of the consumer needs. And hopefully we have the enough talent and enthusiasm to start working in this direction, so that whenever the need arises, we are going to be there. So I'll just change the discussion a little bit. Each of the panelists has been involved in different kind of the product development activities, like Radha's company does the system, Vishwa's company do the chips. So from their own experience in the product development, how do you basically, in 2 to 3 minutes, please describe your experience of product innovation in your own space? How has been your experience, good, bad, what are the difficulties you faced on the way, and how is it working for you?
Okay, the product, the development and innovation, what we have been doing, or rather we've been involved in is, it's specifically to certain industries. So these industries in turn would have consumers who would have customers who would have consumers. So in effect, what we are doing is we are doing certain design related and innovation related work for semiconductor equipments. And these in turn would eventually be in all of your phone at the end of the day. So the impact that it creates to each of you is very significant. So what we are looking at is, where is that maximum impact it is doing? But then I must caution all of you at this time. If you look at worldwide, this is a very stark reality. 90% of the products that is available today in this world are catering only to 10% of the population. This is something that is bothering us a lot. So what is it that we can do to increase this percentage? So the point is, the market that is available is that 90%, how are we going to address? And India has a tremendous share of that 90% of these people who are still not in that 10%. So I leave it at that.
So our company is basically a fabless semiconductor company, so addressing consumer electronics market, building basic technology. This software-defined radio platform consisting of multiple DSPs. So it's been a long and interesting R&D journey, building the complete platform, building the first DSP processor out of India, platform consisting of multiple processors. And this finally, what we need to do is to build ICs based on this platform and sell in the world market. India is just part of the market. So our market is outside India, mainly in the Far East, some part in the US and in Europe. So getting market requirements has been always one of the challenges, being away from market. And the application of this, of course, is there in many aspects, especially in Indian defense and so on. But getting access to that has been always a challenge because of multiple procedural issues and so on.
So Nevis, my company, is in the land security market, and we are in the network security market, and we have our own appliance and a pretty sophisticated NAT plus traffic monitoring system. And when we started back in 2003, 2004, the kind of appliance we wanted to build, LAN security was not something which was really well known at that time. And considering the traffic that has to go through a LAN security product, which is an inline device, the chip that we needed, the main processor that we needed had to work at a very high throughput levels, and also with the deep packet inspection capability. So at that time we built our own chip, we built our own complete hardware, our own management software, and it's a pretty sophisticated appliance catering to large enterprise needs. Today now when we are looking at the next generation, expanding, supporting the BYOD kind of needs and very large networks, what we are finding is that we don't have to build our own chip now. We can use off-the-shelf components. We can use off-the-shelf entire motherboard, and it can give us scalability, flexibility and all. And we are also finding a market which is not just the large enterprise market. We are looking at 300, 400 user networks to 100,000 user networks, and the entire range provides us the market, and now we have to cater to that kind of market with the devices as well as with the software and the entire solution.
What is the question again? I'm sorry, completely lost track.
No, share your own experience in the product innovation space if you have been involved in the
So
product
my
innovation.
just last comment on that is that the market is not easy, like he said, and we are focused on the Indian market. We sell in other countries also, but in last 2 years we are seeing the awareness for network security, LAN security and all. So there is much more sort of engagement and lot more going on this front. But still market is a slow decision making. That has been a challenge for us.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things that, is the thing that really keeps me going is because I work with maybe anywhere between 3 to 5 entrepreneurs every day. I mean, folks who are, who started that amazing concept that they have in their mind that says, you know what, today I'm going to build this and tomorrow I'm going to transform the world. So I'm going to give you some examples. I think that's probably the way in which we can approach this. The examples of product innovation that we typically see. One point in time, I met with a guy, who's from IESA, and he started off by saying that, you know what, I'm going to start putting together a company which, essentially takes information that's available on the net and make it available onto DTH platforms. Why? Because in India, DTH penetration is a lot more than internet penetration, all that kind of stuff is what he started off. In the beginning, the way in which he approached this entire thing was that he said that, listen, my product that I'm going to create is going to put Picasa and Flickr out of business. I mean, that is the stated purpose that he started off with. Saying that we will go ahead and build this particular product, because of which, people will be, someone who's sitting in the US will be able to say that here are, 15 photographs that I've taken. I want to share it with my family who's sitting back in Orissa somewhere, or sitting somewhere in, a place like Kaladikurchi, which is where I come from, those kind of places. But be able to share it on a DTH platform and, do the scheduling and that kind of stuff, which is what they were talking about. The kind of transformation that happened as far as that particular product was concerned was fascinating. I mean, if you really look at it, the idea was amazing. Okay, the idea was amazing. They put together the product. And I'm going back to what the other panelists were talking about, is just finding the right kind of market for this. They even found the market. They even found a large network provider who said that, I'd be happy to distribute this particular product on a payable basis as far as my consumers are concerned. I mean, this is a DTH company that wanted to do this stuff. So they found that. The thing that really happened over there was that TRAI shot it down. TRAI said that, listen, you cannot go ahead and start sharing photographs on DTH, because that kind of defeats the purpose behind security as far as the country is concerned, right? So that is the thing. However, the way in which that company was able to transform itself was pretty significant, because they had built a platform of being able to take internet-based information and make it available to DTH providers without a back channel coming in the way, right? I mean, DTH doesn't have a back channel in India right now. Because they were able to do something like that, they were able to put together an examination product. Okay, competitive examination product, which could then be distributed freely, not free, but freely across multiple places. That product today is now available in 22 states across the country. It's being distributed, and this is, I'm talking about a 3-year-old company. 22 states across the country. It has increased the ARPU as far as the consumer is, not the consumer, but the network provider is concerned. For the consumers who are using this particular product, it has doubled the ARPU as far as that particular customer is concerned. And today, this company, which is now specializing on how is it that they can take internet information and make it available on the DTH platform, is possibly going to get, getting into a Series B, which would be upwards of $50 million, is what they are talking about. The point that I think I wanted to make over here is that, from what we have seen, is that the idea starts off as something which is very small, very unique kind of stuff, but over a period of time, the market kind of brings it back into reality and says, all right, now what is it that needs to be done to really make this successful? This is just one of the examples that I have in mind. But that's the kind of transformation that we see on an ongoing basis as far as young startups are concerned.
Okay. So in the journey of any product innovation, some part of the time, basically you start with a concept, do proof of concept, then you do prototype. And a point in the life comes when you have to scale it to the production level. So in your opinion, is the whole ecosystem, including the policy regime and infrastructure and ecosystem, be it a chip product, be it a system product like yours, or basically software product, which has little less problems probably in this space, but do you think that our infrastructure and the ecosystem is ready to scale the product to the volumes and sell it to the world market, or do you feel there are a lot of hurdles which slow you down? Once you have proven prototype, now you have to go to scale volume production and sell it to the world, right?
Absolutely.
So you need to bother about supply chain, all of the problems, right? Are we ready for that?
Yeah, one is I would classify it into two kinds. One is the operational problems, other is the strategic problem. Getting into a different market would mean certain permissions that would be needed, which is essentially, let's say, outside India or to another country, one to sell or to source. The operational problems would be to get clearances, the paperwork, those would be one set of problems. The problem at the strategic level has to be decided by the government issues. And this is to be done by the administrative people within the government. And at both these places, I think the current state of movement is pretty slow. But if they move, I think that would make a fundamental difference. For a country like India, a small improvement would have an enormous impact outside. So making those small changes would mean a lot of significant contribution to the market penetrations. Sorry. So having said that, the product in itself has to have a value proposition. If the product does not have value, or if the customer buys once and if he doesn't see a value in it, he is not going to come back. If he sees a value, he is going to come back again and again, again and again. That's where the market increases, the buying increases,